So anyway, there was a bunch of young guys at Michigan State. There was like Ed Church, myself, and Ken Orisny, Herb Schuneman, and so we were the hicks from the country, and we had the shock machine from these guys in California, which were crazy people from Stanford and UCLA and those people. And so anyway, I got to travel out there, and I always had a ruddy correspondence with Bill Armstrong, who was at Landsmont at the time, well, it was Monterey Research at the time. And I got to know a lot of the people out there, and they didn't know anything about packaging. And I didn't know anything about shock testing or vibration. So the whole thing got to be a big collaboration on how we could work together to progress the whole thing. Guys like Bob Newton, who did come up with the fragility procedure, all greatly contributed. And I was lucky I had lunch with Bob one time when I was there. And again, I was teaching and he was teaching. And he was telling me that he did such a good job, they told him that they were going to promote him to be the head of the department. And he said he did that for like 6 months and said he was going to quit. He did not at all enjoy that. He enjoyed the teaching and research. And I said to him, I said, I talked to him about how he came up with this theory about damage boundary, because I didn't understand exactly what he had done. And in 1 hour, he explained to me so simple that anybody could have understood it. And he was kind of like saying, if you take this and you shine it in a mirror, that's what it would look like. And all of a sudden, things we came to it. And he was a great guy. And, I don't know what would have happened if he hadn't come up with that procedure. I really don't. I mean, things happen, And so like I said, if I hadn't gone into packaging in the beginning, I would have never met these people. And, it changed my life. I don't want to be emotional about it, but it did. I mean, I met all the people out there in California, and we had some good times, some great times. We got a lot done, and I think that by Landsmont getting involved, it did a lot for ASTM. I mean, the people from Landsmont contributed a lot to that. I mean, obviously it was their business, but there were other ways they could have taken their money and spent it rather than attending all these meetings and trying to get everybody to be it's a consensus organization and trying to get people that don't know what they're talking about to agree with you. But I'm not sure which one of us just came up with this, but it got to, if you write a procedure and somebody objected, we just said, well, if you got a better idea, you write it. Well, you didn't get near as many of those objections when you asked them to do some work. Maybe it's just me, but I look back at the group that, of us that we did it together.